Texans have the opportunity to raise their homestead exemption when they go to vote. Advocates say it would lower property taxes by hundreds of dollars for homeowners, but some analysts warn it could create funding issues in the future.
Our Dylan McKim explains what this means for you.
Day one of early voting in Texas, and on the top of the ballot for voters, 17 constitutional amendments. One amendment will have a big impact on homeowners. Proposition 13 would raise the homestead exemption from $100,000 to $140,000, a move that is estimated to save the average homeowner almost $400 a year.
This is real money buying down real property taxes, and Mr. President, they'll have this exemption for the rest of their lives.
At voting polls in our state's capital, some voters expressed full support for the tax cuts. This man saying he was upset with how his local government was spending his tax dollars.
So I think we've proven we have a fairly inefficient government right now.
Okay.
And I'd like the city council and the mayor and the local government to hold themselves more accountable.
While this husband and wife split their vote, Sandy Waddles supports raising the exemption to lower property taxes.
I think it helps the unaffordability issue in Austin.
But her husband disagrees.
It's just shifting the tax burden onto other segments of society, and they may not be expecting it, and it may hurt overall public services.
The exemption applies to the taxes you pay to school districts. The state would pay almost $3 billion to offset the exemptions so that schools don't feel the impact. But some analysts warn that strategy could backfire if the state falls on financial hard times.
If we see an economic downturn in the future and the state is unable to maintain its commitment to schools, will we be looking at cuts to our school funding?
In the past 10 years, voters have approved homestead exemption increases 3 times. It would only take a simple majority during this election to increase it a 4th time. In Austin, I'm Dylan McKim.
Early voting will continue until October 31st. Election day is November 4th.
And a couple of other constitutional amendments on the ballot you're going to see. Proposition 14 is a $3 billion initiative to make Texas a leader in the search for a treatment for dementia. Although it has widespread support, a few lawmakers argue private investment should fund the research, not taxpayer money. But advocates argue taxpayers are already impacted by the disease, even if they don't know someone who was diagnosed with it. Also, proposition number 1 would create an investment fund that the Texas State Technical College could pull from to pay for capital projects. Now, this comes as demand for high-skilled workers is growing as new companies move into Texas. Some critics say that if the fund could lack financial accountability, but the college argues that voters could just take away the fund if it's abused.
From state constitutional amendments to school district bonds, we've got you covered with our 2025 voter guide. That's on KXAN.com. All you have to do is look for it on our data hub. That's under the news tab.